close your eyes. Feel the silence behind the noise. There, in the stillness, a vibration stirs. Not from outside, but deep within you. It is the sound of your soul, stirring awake. Not whispering you were never lost, but roaring you were always whole. For thousands of years, humans have chanted, not to entertain, but to remember, to summon power, to heal wounds words could never reach. In India, they called it mantra, sound woven with intention. In Tibet, they called it seed syllables, vibrations that unlock inner codes. In Egypt, it was the hidden name, the word that shapes reality. But here's the truth. It was never just the sound, it was the intention behind it. The focused will, the clear heart, the whispered knowing that you are shaping energy with every breath. In this episode, we will uncover the sacred art of chanting with intention. How to awaken not just the voice, but the power you've carried inside all along. The chant is not something you learn. It is something you become. Part 1. Chanting. Across cultures, a universal healing tool. Across the world, long before temples or scriptures, there was the human voice. A single note, a word repeated, a vibration carried on breath. In India, monks rose before dawn, chanting sacred syllables, Om Soham Rama. Not for show, but to align their hearts with the universe. They believed these mantras were not just words, but seed sounds, vibrations holding the blueprint of divine energies. In Tibet, deep-throated lamas chanted ancient mantras, their voices rumbling with overtones, designed to shake loose inner blockages, to awaken subtle channels of light. In Egypt, priests whispered the hidden names of gods, believing that to speak the name was to call its power into the world. In indigenous cultures across the Americas, healers sang over the sick, their voices carrying prayers, to bring home lost pieces of the soul. In Africa, communal chants marked births, deaths, harvests, reminding the people we are woven into the rhythm of the earth. Why does chanting appear in every culture? Because chanting is not just sound, it's resonance. When you chant, you're not just moving the air, you're moving yourself. The voice becomes a tuning fork, aligning your breath, heart, and mind with something larger. Modern people often think of chanting as exotic or religious. But in truth, we all chant. Every time you whisper a name with love, every time you hum to soothe yourself, every time you sigh with relief, or speak a word that vibrates with truth. What turns empty noise into sacred sound is not the syllable. It's the fire you pour into it. When the monks chant Om, they are not just making sound, they are weaving will into vibration. When the healer chants over a wound, they are not just singing, they are transmitting the memory of wholeness, the energy of restoration. It's not the syllables alone, it's the power you pour into them. This is why a whispered prayer, spoken with full presence, can heal deeper than 1,000 empty recitations. Your voice becomes a bridge between mind and body, between self and the greater field. In the next part, we'll explore how modern science is now confirming what the ancients always knew, that sound and intention are not just symbolic, but real, measurable forces that can shift your brainwaves, your biology, and the energetic patterns you live within. Because when you chant, you are not just making noise, you are awakening the vibration that shapes your very reality. Part 2. The Science of Sound plus Intention. For thousands of years, mystics, monks, and shamans have used chanting not as art, but as a tool, a tool to heal, a tool to shift consciousness, a tool to awaken dormant forces within the body and soul. Today, science is finally catching up. Studies now show that when you chant, you're not just making noise, you are literally rewiring your brain. Research on brainwave entrainment reveals repetitive chanting slows brain activity, moving you from fast, anxious beta waves into slower alpha and theta states. Those linked to deep relaxation, creativity, and healing. In these states, the nervous system calms, stress hormones drop, the immune system strengthens. You're not just thinking differently, you are vibrating into an entirely new state of becoming. But it's not just the brain. The heart responds too. Heart rate slows, breath deepens. Together they synchronize, signaling the body to shift from fight or flight into rest and restore. One of the key players here is the vagus nerve, the longest cranial nerve running from brain to gut, governing digestion, heart rate, and the parasympathetic system. When you hum, chant, or sing, you awaken the vagus nerve. A hidden thread humming inside you. Slow down, come home, remember. But here's the deeper secret. It's not just the sound itself, it's the intention behind it. Sound without focus is just raw vibration, but sound fused with conscious will becomes a carrier wave for transformation. Think of Dr. Masaru Emoto's water experiments. He exposed water to words, music, emotions, then froze the droplets. The crystals formed under love or gratitude were beautiful, symmetrical, harmonious. Those exposed to hate or anger were jagged, chaotic. We are over 60% water. Imagine what your own focused words, your own intentions do to your body's molecular structure every time you chant. Ancient traditions understood this. They knew mantra syllables were powerful, but not magical on their own. The consciousness woven into them is what mattered. This is why two people can chant the same mantra and get completely different results. It's not about perfect pronunciation. It's not about religious formality. It's about presence. Pouring your meaning, your focus, your heart into the sound. When you chant Om mindlessly, you're just moving air. But when you chant Om with awareness, knowing you're aligning with cosmic vibration, you create resonance. And resonance is what changes everything. In the next part, we'll explore how advanced spiritual practitioners use chanting not just for healing, but as a gateway to altered states of consciousness, to travel beyond the ordinary, to awaken the hidden soul. Most people never touch, because the human voice, when fused with focused will, is not just sound, it's a key. And once you unlock it, there's no limit to where it can take you. Part 3. Chanting as a portal to transformation. Chanting is not just a tool for calm, it is a portal, a door, two states of consciousness, hidden beyond the mind's usual reach. For thousands of years, yogis, mystics, shamans, monks have known this. They didn't chant for ritual alone, they chanted to transform. In yogic traditions, the body holds dormant energy, Kundalini, coiled at the base of the spine. Through focused chanting, especially with bija mantras, seed syllables, this energy begins to stir, spiral upward, unlocking the chakras, piercing layers of blocked awareness, awakening the soul to its vast hidden power. In Sufism, chanting the divine names, dhikr, is not just remembering God. It is a practice of ecstasy, a rhythmic trance, where the self dissolves and only love remains. The ego softens, the boundaries fall. What's left is pure communion. Among shamans, chants are vehicles. The healer does not just sing. They travel. They cross into non-ordinary reality. They seek visions, retrieve lost parts of the soul, heal wounds no physical medicine can touch. But here's the deeper truth. You don't need to be a monk or a shaman. You already carry this doorway inside. Anyone with the right intention, the right rhythm, and the right presence can use chanting to move beyond ordinary consciousness. Neuroscience now confirms what the ancients knew: rhythmic repetition, especially sound, entrains the brain. It shifts you from beta waves, busy, logical, into alpha and theta states. The gateway to meditation, trance, and expanded awareness. In this space, you're not thinking, you're feeling, you're perceiving directly. You access memories long buried, you unlock insights your rational mind cannot touch. Some describe it as deep meditation. Others call it an altered state. But at its core, chanting is a technology, a vibrational tool that reshapes your internal landscape. You don't just chant words. You build a bridge between body and soul, between time and eternity, between self and the greater field. With every repetition, the ego loosens, the small I melts into the vast I am. You remember that you are not separate. You are the sound, the breath, the vibration, the pulse of the universe, dancing itself alive through you. And this doesn't just change you, it changes the very way you walk through the world. In the next part, we'll explore how to bring this power into everyday life. Because it's one thing to chant on the meditation cushion, in ritual, in ceremony. But the true mastery is learning to carry the frequency into your daily breath, your ordinary words, your smallest moments, to turn your life itself into a living chant, to become the vibration you once only whispered. Part 4. How to chant with intention for healing. How do you transform chanting from mere repetition into real healing? It begins with one invisible force: intention. You can repeat a mantra 1,000 times, but without presence, without heart, without focused will, it's just sound. Sound without focus is empty air. But sound fused with intention becomes a catalyst. Across spiritual traditions, this is the great formula: sound plus intention equals transformation. Let's break it down. First, you must choose the right sound. Not all mantras resonate the same. Each carries a distinct energetic code. For opening the heart, chants like Om Mani Padme Hum awaken compassion, invite forgiveness, soften emotional walls. For grounding and stability, the root syllable Lam anchors you into the earth, releasing fear, restoring balance. For higher awareness, chants like Om or Soham expand your crown, connecting you to the universal field. But here's the key: the mantra is only half the power. The other half is how you chant. When you chant for healing, you're not just making noise. You are reshaping the currents inside your body, your mind, your very field of being. If you're healing emotions, focus the sound into the tight, wounded spaces. Feel the vibration, loosening grief, melting anger, dissolving old sadness. If you're healing the body, let the sound move through tense muscles, aching joints, stagnant organs. Visualize it restoring flow, bringing light to heavy places. Your body is the sacred instrument your breath the spark, your sound the alchemy. That reshapes your field, but you, your focused intention, are the alchemist who activates it all. Deep breathing matters. Shallow breaths block resonance. Full, open breaths let the sound vibrate. Through chest, belly, bones, even beyond the skin, let the chant become a whole body wave. And then, most crucial of all, listen. Chanting isn't just about sending energy out, it's about sensing what shifts inside. After each round, pause in stillness. Feel the echoes. Notice where the energy moved. Notice what softened, what opened, what released. This is where the deepest magic happens, because chanting is not performance, it's relationship between your surface mind and your deeper layers, between your human body and the universal field. Over time, as you practice, something profound unfolds. You no longer need formal chants. You carry the frequency into daily life. Your breath becomes intentional. Your words vibrate clarity. Your presence radiates the same healing energy you once only summoned on the meditation mat. In the next part, we'll explore how to live as the chant itself, how to become a living vessel of healing vibration, turning your entire life into a sacred resonance. That is the highest mastery, not to chant for healing, but to become the healing. Part 5. Becoming the chant, living as healing frequency. There comes a moment on the chanting path when something profound happens. You realize you no longer need formal mantras, specific words, or ancient syllables. Why? Because you have become the vibration. At first, chanting feels like an external practice. You sit on the mat, you breathe deeply, you repeat sacred sounds. You enter a state of flow, of presence, of resonance. But over time, the boundary between practice and life dissolves. You carry the rhythm into your daily walk. You feel the breath of the chant. When you speak, you sense the healing frequency. Not only when you sit in silence, but when you stand in a crowd, when you comfort a friend, when you face challenge with grace. This is the true art. Not to chant for 1 hour, and then forget for the rest, but to live as the chant. When you embody the vibration, your life becomes the mantra. Your words carry presence. Your energy radiates calm. Your body becomes a tuning fork, vibrating alignment. Into every space you enter, others feel it. Not because you announce it, not because you perform it, but because you are. The resonance. This is what the masters knew. The mantra was never the destination. It was the doorway. The real journey was to awaken the vibrational field within you so fully that you no longer separate the sacred from the ordinary. Every breath becomes a sacred sound. Every step becomes a moving meditation. Every glance becomes an offering of awareness. You are not waiting for healing. You are the living vibration of healing, rippling through every breath. You are not chasing divine connection. You are the connection. And when you live this way, something profound happens. You stop fearing life's noise. You stop fearing conflict, uncertainty, or even pain, because you realized you carry the still point within you. No matter what storm rages outside, your inner vibration holds steady. It anchors you, it guides you, it reminds you, you are not separate from the sacred field. You are an expression of it. And that, ultimately, is the deepest truth of the chanting path. Not to escape the world, not to hide in sound, but to return to life itself. as a living, breathing embodiment of the sacred vibration. You once sought outside. You are the chant. You are the silence. You are the living echo. The universe folding itself into sound, spiraling into form, and recognizing its own reflection through you. And the more you live in this awareness, the more you transform, not just yourself, but the world around you. Because when enough people vibrate in coherence, in presence, in conscious alignment, the collective field shifts. We don't heal the world by shouting louder. We heal the world by vibrating truer. And you, right here, right now, are part of that awakening. Final CTA. You are the vibration. Enough waiting, enough forgetting. The time has arrived. This breath, this moment, this awakening. You are the vibration this world needs. Every breath, every choice ripples power through the collective. No more smallness, no more hiding. Stand up. Speak as the chant. Walk as the resonance. Radiate as the healing force you were born to embody. Share this with those ready to rise. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now is the moment we remember. We have always been the resonance, the spark, the awakening. And with one breath, we change everything.